Hey, it's Aaron from GameEnthus.com, and this time I'm checking out Quirky Circuits, a game designed by Nikki Valens and published by Plaid Hat Games. So in Quirky Circuits, players are going to be working together, yes, I said together, to accomplish certain tasks by programming robots to complete certain challenges before the robot's batteries inevitably run out. So you have the cat, you have like the robotic bee, the dog, and then a robot. I said robot a lot of times. Cat will be chasing on dust bunnies. This robotic bee or wasp will be thwarting ants. The robotic dog will be digging up dino bones, whatever those are. And this robot, I'm just saying words, will be trying to serve cats in a diner. So, open the box and show you what is inside. Quirky Circuits. So, Quirky Circuits comes with a scenario book. And the first scenario is with Gizmo. Well, I guess Gizmo is a cat just on top of like a Roomba-ish type robot. So I guess the cat's real, but the robot it's sitting on is, well, it's real, but it's not living. It's being programmed. I'm saying a lot of words. So each creature kind of has several scenarios that kind of go up in difficulty, whereas this is the beginner one where you're trying to make your way around, grab the dust bunnies, and I believe come back to the same spot that you started in. And they get a little more complicated with just more things to do and more obstacles. And then you move your way up to getting the ants. So the robots have to do more things the more difficult the game gets. So it does get trickier. Oh boy, you're trying to serve cats something to eat. Anything like my cat. My cat wants food. He makes it known. He ain't shy. So, and then some scenarios actually are special scenarios and include multiple robots. So, there you go. In order to sort of get the point across, I'm going to start off with the initial scenario here. So you have an instruction book, which details all the lovely iconography. I mean, who doesn't love detailed iconography or the detailing of, you know what I mean? So shows you all everything means. Very useful. So you actually have Gizmo and Twirl, and they're double-sided. So Gizmo and Lefty are on one card, Twirl and Rover are on another, and it also tells you how many of each type of card you get. So this is 5 going forward, 2 going 2 spaces, 1 going 3 spaces, 2 going backwards, 1 turn left, 3 turn right, and then 2 to turn around. So it says when Gizmo collides with an obstacle or barrier, it halts its movement and rotates left. So that's an indicator of the reason why you only get 1 left card is because when you hit something, you turn left by default. So you need more right hand turns. And some of these components are used for, like, these are the bones, and you have the food. So these are actual miniatures. I wish I was into painting these things, but I am not. But they do look, I've seen them painted. They are quite lovely when completed. Fortunately, there was a bit of an accident with Twirl, where this broke off from here. So yeah, things happen. So these are all the components you'll have to go through the scenarios. And in a world where, oftentimes children are being educated about things and having fun, I'm trying not to say that word that you know, that portmanteau, those two words that sometimes can draw ire. Okay, I just said edutainment. Nobody really says that anymore. But yeah. So these are all of the gizmo cards. I think that's it, right? Should be it. And these are twirls cards and so on and so forth. And it gets a lot more complex, which is really the idea. So you take the cards for the robot you plan on dealing with and place this, you know, as a reminder, so you know what you're dealing with. I don't know why I said it that way, but here we are. And you start on this space here. And let me just zoom in a little bit and get a bit of a better view. Okay, so that is a better view. Probably still can't read that, but I already read it to you. Basically, when Gizmo hits something, he goes left. So if you're playing this in a 2-player game, each player would get 5 cards. If you were playing this in a 3-player game, each player would get 4 cards, and the same for 4 players. So let's say let's say we're doing a 2-player game. Probably want to shuffle these up. So if you're playing this in a 2-player game, each player would get 5 cards. If you were playing this in a 3-player game, each player would get 4 cards, and the same for 4 players. So the battery is sort of like full turns. So as I said, if we were playing a 2-player game, each player would have 5 cards. And 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you cannot communicate clearly, you know, openly with the other players. You just have to go for it. So basically, you're going to be laying out up to, well, for this scenario, you'd be laying out 5 different cards without communicating verbally. Or communicating is period, really. And the idea is you would execute those cards from left to right, moving Gizmo in accordance with what the cards say. And every time 5 cards go out and they're executed, you would just pull this down 1. Let's say these are player 1's cards, and these are player 2's cards. So obviously they would not really be, you know, you wouldn't really be facing, you would not see what your teammates have. Everybody has to contribute at least 1 card into the set of 5 to be executed. And 5 or more must be played, not just 5. 5 or more cards have to be laid out in order to be executed. So I guess in the interest of fairness, I don't know, I'll just shuffle these up. I don't know what they have. Let's say I decided to play, I'm going to put this one into play. I'm going to move forward twice. And then I'm also going to move forward twice again. And I don't know what my opponent is going to do. I do know that if I hit this wall, I will turn left by default. So I kind of want to go all the way here and then go like that. So the back of these indicate, oh, actually I would do it like this. Excuse me. You actually would put them down like that so you can't, so your teammates can't see. I know it's a team thing, but it's fine. And then these will indicate, so if player 1 put these cards down, now they know that this is a card that has forward or backward movement, but they don't know what this is. And the same for these. So let's say player 2 kind of assumed, hey, they're probably moving forward, you know, a couple of times. So then player 2 would, I guess I can actually look. They might assume, hey, this is probably going to get us to here. And we already know that Gizmo bumps into something, they're going to turn to the left. So I want to move probably 3 more spaces to collect those dust bunnies. I keep forgetting things. I need to put down the dust bunnies. That's why they're there. You gotta make it real. Otherwise, why are we here? Gotta put those dust bunnies down. The idea is obviously to get all the way around here, get all these dust bunnies, and then get back to the spot that we started in. And let's say, I'm also gonna want, I'll see this one's going backwards. I don't want that. So I don't really have very much for the cause, but let's say I put that there. And at least 5. And as player 2 stops, it's kind of indicating like, hey, I can't really help out that much. So basically that will get us here. We turn left automatically. And then this is going to move us what? It would never go like this. I'm just trying to work it out in my head. Move us 3 spaces, 1, 2, 3. Bump into this. So I turn left. So I'll be facing this way. And then you have regardless, you turn around all the way. So then you would, I don't know, let's say I just put this one here just to have something. And we flip them over. So we'll move 2 spaces forward, collect the dust bunnies, which is the goal. All right. 2 spaces forward. Yeah, I already see the mistake that I made. So trying to move here again would turn me here after the first step here. The second one wouldn't even happen because I would have bumped into this and then just turned anyway. And you turn to the left. And then I'd move 1 space forward, collect that dust bunny. I'd move backwards 1 space, boo. And then move forward 2 more spaces. So 1, 2. So then Gizmo will end up here. All these cards that were played will be collected. It'll be shuffled, placed underneath the deck, and then everybody would draw back up to 5 cards total, and the game would resume. And we try to make our way into getting all the way over here to get the rest of these dust bunnies. Also, after the first executed attempt, you'd also move this down. These are almost like rounds or turns, so it's a full battery, and then we have to try it again. So we get 7 turns with which to give it a shot. Try to accomplish our goals. And like I said, this is the first scenario, so it's fairly basic, but it does get more challenging as you go along. And this one you have 8, so you get a little more time as you have some more obstacles to deal with. So, like anything that has yellow around it means you bump into it. So, and then you make your way from the beginning of the book into each scenario and only move on to the next one once you've accomplished the one you are on. Oop, another dust bunny. And that is how Quirky Circuits works. My thoughts. I really do like this game. It's something I can sit down and play with the kids. And the idea of this obviously is to play with younger. I mean, obviously adults can play and it's still fun, but I feel like it definitely is something that appeals more to kids. And you're essentially learning about programming, whether you really kind of know it or not, because you have to think in terms of giving commands. These robots will only do what they're told to do. So you have to work with your teammates without being able to communicate directly and accomplish these tasks. And I think this game does a really good job of giving something that's fun and challenging, because that game is definitely challenging. It gets tough when you get to some of these later scenarios. So you do get more time, but you are certainly going to need it to accomplish these goals. So that's Quirky Circuits. I think this is a really, really fun game. I think it's very well put together. It's a really good game. Unfortunately, this did break off, but it is kind of hanging out there like that. But even with that, I feel like these components are really nice and definitely enticing to people who want to paint them. As you can see in the cover, you can see what the colors are, and people who are inclined to paint, I mean, it'd be calling for you. So will you answer the call? So Quirky Circuits is really good. It's very well put together. I do enjoy it, and we have to make a lot more progress in order to get to the end of this scenario book. That is a small little taste of the beginning, just sort of how Quirky Circuit starts, and it definitely gets more complex. You're serving sushi to cats, given command cards. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Give it a like, thumbs up, all that good stuff. Subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a comment. I like those too. So yeah, it's gonna do it for me. Thank you for watching. Take care. Stay safe. Be blessed.